So now let's read out all the figures that are out in the mainstream media today, one by one, and give you an average. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is on your screens. These are all the figures with the average at the bottom, which of course my PCR crew is going to show you. There you go. The Matrix poll is putting out 79 to 94, a very, very wide margin of seat share for the BJP, 103 to 118 for the Congress, 25 to 33 for the JDS, and 2 to 5 on others and independents. PMark is putting 85 to 100 for the BJP, 94 to 108 for the Congress, 24 to 32 for the JDS, 2 to 6 for others. Jan Ki Baat gives a better edge to the BJP, 94 to 117. Again, it's a very large margin of error here. And large margins of error shows you the reflection of the pollsters' confidence. If you have a 30-40 seat margin, that is a huge margin and doesn't really help us make a great estimate. But regardless, Jan Ki Baat 94 to 117, 91 to 106 for the Congress, so advantage BJP there, 14 to 24, the lowest score for the JDS out of all polls, and either 0 or 1 or 2 for the others. Pollstrat puts it at 88, 98 as I've read out, 99 to 109 for the Congress, and JDS 21 to 26, 0 to 4. The average is 94 for the BJP, 103, and this is a mean average of the middle parts of all those ranges that have been offered to you by all the polls. 94 mean range average for the BJP, 103 mean range average for the Congress, 24 mean range average for the JDS, and 3 for the independents and others. This would mean the definition of a hung assembly with the Congress as the single largest party, the BJP emerging very shy of the Congress, but in the end, H.D. Kumaraswamy deciding who forms the next government, regardless of what takes place. Fascinating data over here. Let me quickly go to Dr. Datta, then go across to analysts before I come back to the politician. Dr. Datta, quickly, sir. Your perspective now that you've seen all the numbers.
Yes, I've seen all the numbers, and I would say that on 13th of May, the numbers would be proved wrong. It is going to be a clear-cut majority government of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and I would say that they would cross the halfway mark in a very comfortable way. And that would be the reflection of the reality. In the past also, exit polls, whether it was Rajasthan, whether it was Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, or many other states where exit poll had spoken something else, and the reality at the grassroots level turned out to be something else.
Okay, all right. Now on practical things, before I get the others in, on practical matters, up or down was 44 seats last time, which the Congress lost 44 in 2018 and the BJP gained that amount in 2018. So it was a huge change. Here we are seeing only officially from the 2018 figures on change of only 10-12 seats on each side. The current figures versus the last voting figures, remember, are different because many waters and troubled waters have flowed out in troubled bridges in the past 4 years. But I'm going to give everybody a chance to respond. Rajalakshmi Joshi, you've seen the full poll of polls, 94, 103, 24. What's your take?
Yes, Rishabh, I saw the numbers, but I don't really agree, and I'm sure that the numbers will definitely change on the 13th of May. And even if say maybe like whatever I have predicted, even if that may not be close, but then the numbers will not definitely be as dismal as this. I'm sure that the BJP will definitely get much better than what is being predicted here.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the halfway mark at the top of your screens is 113. Okay. Now, as far as these polls say, 113 is at the top end or beyond the average for the Congress. You can say they might have been conservative one end. It is not in the average except for one poll in the BJP. So it is the X factor of H.D. Kumaraswamy which is relevant as far as these polls are concerned. Let's get the politicians in. Anand Gurumurthy, your first thoughts, sir. I know you don't buy these polls, but what are your first thoughts? Are they making you feel a little bit more uncomfortable?
First of all, the halfway mark is 112 because one sits as a speaker.
Yeah,
so
fair enough.
It's 112. Okay, so
113 to form the government. Yes.
No, 112. Okay, whatever you take it as, but halfway mark should be shown as
hopefully it doesn't come to 1 because then you know it's going to be really too close to call. But yeah, okay, your thoughts anyway, sir.
Yeah, see, basically, from what I have seen from the last 1 year and how these polls have taken shape, and from my perspective, okay, and the travels that I have done across the state, I think this exit poll is not actually speaking exactly of what people were thinking. Okay, and the people were very clear about what they wanted, how their future has to be. So this exit poll is actually not giving enough number of seats to BJP as far as I can understand, because I see that we are forming the government and we will have a clear majority.
Okay, you are confident of it. I'll give Mr. Antony a chance. Mr. Antony, I know you're going to say also we don't believe the exit polls and we'll actually get 140 or 150. But is the number which has come out now, we put every single poll out there, is it making you feel slightly better right now, sir?
No, I think we are going to perform much better than this. Though this is a very comfortable home run, but our performance is going to be much better than this. Because if you really look at it, everybody was praising Prime Minister Modi for his campaign in Karnataka. But you look at it in the other way, that it was because of the Karnataka BJP's leadership, they didn't have a face-to-face the people. That's why the Prime Minister had to campaign. But the people of Karnataka had rejected the lies of the Prime Minister, as well as the lies and corruption of BJP, the 40% Sarkara. So we will see that if the average is showing you 103, I'm sure that on the 13, we will see that we will cross much better than the halfway mark.
Okay, you're confident.
That's exactly
of it,
what I meant it from the very beginning.
I have to give credit to the JDS. Okay, they make it work, and if they made it work once again, despite everything that both the Congress, who are not necessarily political friends with the JDS, other than when convenience of alliance strikes, and the BJP, who's also at convenience of alliance with the JDS in the past, you give them credit. They're political survivors and punch well above their weight. So every time you write them off, they pull a surprise, and H.D. Kumaraswamy might have pulled out a surprise here. Who knows? Vijay Krishnanji is still with us. Vijay Krishnanji, now that you've seen all the numbers, heard all the numbers, what's your quick take, sir?
The first thing is that we have to accept defeat on our face. I'm astonished to see that BJP is not agreeing to the exit polls. Yes, sometimes exit polls may predict wrongly, but I've seen in all the elections exit polls accurately predicted the outcome. So I would like to accept all the exit poll results as you have shown: Mattress, PMARC, Jan Ki Baat, Poll Start. I would say it is because of the last-ditch efforts made by Narendra Modi ji and anti-Hindu agenda put in the manifesto of Congress, that today Congress has got slight edge to form a majority government. But I'm feared about the Operation Kamala. What is the use even after forming the government either by Congress or JDS? Again, Congress, BJP starts Operation.
Okay, so what are you saying, Mr. Krishnan? You are saying that the actual result also doesn't matter, because who's going to form the government? Who knows?
We want Constitution to be respected. We want a full majority. Like what Honorable Narendra Modi says, Abki baar Bahummat Sarkar.
Okay, I know Mr. Vijay Krishnan is a cynic of even who belongs to which party, because we all know what happened in Maharashtra recently. So I know you're cynical, sir, about even MLAs from a particular party who are elected, because who knows where they went up. I'm sure neither Mr. Gurumurthy or Mr. Antony will be impressed with that cynicism. But let me get Rajalakshmi Joshi in. Rajalakshmi Joshi, now let's put the exit polls. We'll kind of keep the number on our screens, but let's put the polls aside for a second. What we've seen in this election is a remarkably quiet election, not because the rhetoric was quiet, but there was not much violence, no rioting. You'd think a polarized or a highly charged election, is reflective on the streets. But in what was currently a BJP ruled state, we don't know 3 days from now, a very peaceable election has been pulled out. That is different from other parts of the country where we see even non-election campaign rallying becoming very violent. So something good has been achieved for sure.
Yes, Rishabh. In fact, I was going to mention that some time back. And let me tell you that if you would remember, on your channel itself, we have had a lot of discussions about the NIA crackdowns on the PFI. And I actually link those crackdowns to this change in this law and order. Because, just a year back, everything was so flared up. And now you can see a stark difference. And it is only because there is a huge crackdown on the PFI. And all those elements, those sources that were creating all that trouble. So you have put in.
Okay, Dr. Dada, do you agree? Okay, so let me ask in a pointed way. I mentioned this at the very beginning of the telecast. Less than a year ago, okay, all of us were sitting and having conversation. It became a national crisis, requiring thousands of hours of conversation and Supreme Court hearings about the right of women to wear a hijab, which germinated during a university exam in Mangaluru. This time during the entire poll campaign, not any political party took it up as an issue. The people who were themselves espousing the issue did not come out on the streets. You'd think during an election is where you want to speak out most about it. So what does that tell us about that issue, sir?
Well, I would say that the hijab issue was a creation of PFI, and the fringe elements and the fringe organizations or the affiliate organizations of PFI, supported by a section of the so-called secular party. The moment PFI was banned nationally, the hijab thing also fizzled out as such, So we all know as to from where it started, how it went, and what was the reality of the whole movement as such.
Okay, I have another quick question. Okay, so there's a lesson in what is happening, and maybe is Dr. Datta should be at least give this much credit to the Congress, that they learnt a lesson from Himachal, where they won the election, not by a large margin, but by enough to form a government, where a particular issue regarding the people who are in government employment, which is the largest employer in Himachal, regarding their regularization, regarding their dearness allowance, they got that issue right. And the reason for that is, and I'm saying for anecdotally, when we were covering that election, we were speaking to voters in the line like we did today, a lot of people mentioned that as an issue. So rather than Congress doing Rafael and Chaukidar Chor hai and targeting Modi, at least they came up with 5 pointers which are very specific. There is an evolution that has happened there for sure.
Yes, as I said, Rishabh, initially the narrative and the issues of the narrative of the Congress party was selling with the ground reality, and people were buying whatever they were saying, it was getting reflected in the mood swing of the people as such. But later on, overconfidence, or might be there are some mole within the Congress party itself, the way the manifesto came and the way it was colored with rampant minority appeasement, it actually gave the hatiyar or the sword to the Bharatiya Janata Party. BJP was waiting for that to happen, and the moment it happened, it was too good for the Bharatiya Janata Party to hijack the whole issue from Congress as such, because they were wanting that to happen.
Okay. Mr. Gurumurthy wants to make a point. Mr. Gurumurthy.
See, I feel off in the exit poll that you are showing is JDS numbers. See, as far as I have traveled, and the JDS will come to single digit. The reason is the people didn't have certain choices in 2018, which they have within the two national parties. Okay, and JDS numbers are going to fall is what
But JDS numbers, if they fall, Mr. Gurumurthy, to whose benefit? Why do you think to your benefit? Because one would think JDS numbers, if they fall, it's to the Congress's benefit.
No, it need not be to Congress benefit, because they may end up, fighting for the same votes, and BJP gets an advantage in many seats. That's what I see. Okay, they'll fight for the same votes because they are trying to do the same kind of appeasement, the same kind of beneficiary things. But we have done it in a more scientific way. So our set of our set of votes are secure, while they'll be fighting for the same votes.
Okay, so you think the swing vote goes to the
seats.
BJP? Oh, okay,
Yes,
Mr.
yes.
Anthony, I'm sure disagrees with that. Mr. Anthony.
I disagree with Anand here. The second thing is, that now I also have to counter what Mr. Datta has been speaking for long. It's been a fashion now, to take as a political analyst, political neutrally aligned, and then to come to speak on in behalf of BJP. The second thing is, that now I, being a minority community member, now let me make it very clear to all of you here, as well as to the viewers, that minority members in this country are no less to anyone. We are as equal as anyone as per the constitution of this country. So since we are low in numbers, we have been provided by the constitution to keep in line with the majority community, and that has been provided. We are not a beneficiary of any community. And let me also tell you this, that the secular forces of this country and the secular balance of this country has to be maintained. And any individual posing an organization or a group of individuals posing an organization and using the communal front to put a threat to the country, they are communal. And that is not an act against the Hindu community. The Hindu community is much more an accepting community. And taking that as a cover and taking the Hindu community and using it as a cover.
So let me convert that into substantive questions on Dr. Datta's behalf. He is, sir, unabashed about his alignment. If you find him on Twitter, he'll be very clear on his alignment. So he might not be the BJP, but he's very clear on his alignment. But on a substantive issue, Mr. Antony, practically, sir, we all know that religious-based quotas are unconstitutional. The Supreme Court strikes them down state after state. Why offer them?
No, but in terms of the minority and all other things, this minority appeasement is an abuse to the minority. Let's understand that. Let Mr. Datta clearly understand that the using of the word minority appeasement is an abuse to the minority community, as given to you.
Okay, I'll give him a chance to respond to that.
We can't take it. We can't accept it.
I'll give him a chance to respond to that. On the other substantive question, so, it was a major issue. There's no running away from it regarding the hijab controversy. Why didn't it figure in anybody's political campaign this time?
It is a conscious call made by the political parties not to kind of bring in a religious controversy into the campaign. Why don't you respect it? Rather than
No, I'm thrilled. But the quota conversation came in, the Bajrang Dal conversation came in. So it's not like
I didn't get into the Bajrang Dal. I didn't get into the quota. I just said that the word minority appeasement is an insult to the minority.
Okay. I'll let Dr. Datta respond to that. He's taking umbrage, sir, at the use of the word appeasement, because doing something for the minorities, why is it always terminology as appeasement? Why is it not terminology as vikas and development?
Well, I would say that it is not an appeasement if you are trying to take all the section of the society into confidence. But if you are deliberately selling a political agenda targeted towards a particular community, then that is very much appeasement. And I have reasons to say this. When we talk about the issues related to Ram Mandir, when we talk about Jai Shri Ram or Bharat Mata Ki Jai, or for that matter, issues concerning the majority community or the Hindu community, then it becomes Hindu communalism. And if we talk something which is unconstitutional, especially reservations on religious line, doing away with the anti-conversion law, which is again unconstitutional, then that becomes,
Yes, so do the double standards cut both ways? I think they do. Is it something that we should encourage? Absolutely not. Ladies and gentlemen, there are many things that are possible. Who would have thought that we could have sat for 1 hour on television with 6 panelists discussing a very sensitive election, and nobody was shouting and screaming at each other, nobody was interfering, interjecting, being difficult, even though Mr. Antony's objective on a substantive point of principle, nobody's got personal with each other. If this is possible, then maybe we are capable of having less polarizing conversations in the national electorate as well.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.